Good morning, guys. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing good right now. Let's see if we can get this live stream going on. And hopefully everybody's having a good day. Let's see. Am I on right now? Yep, there we go. All right. So good morning, guys. How's everybody doing? Hopefully we got some people in the chat already. If not, we can get started with the episode. So what I want to do is just pretty much take a look how things are looking pre-market, and if anybody wants to take a look at any stocks, we can also do that. We had some great earnings. I think Corsair had earnings this morning and they did pretty strong. And today is going to be a very, very big earnings day. So let's see what we got in store for us today. First, like always, right, just take a quick look at the calendar for today. So today I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do a video on Skills once they report earnings. I don't know how many of you guys are in Skills right now. I'm kind of excited to see what they do. Activision is another one in the gaming department that I want to enter. Not enter, but watch too. What's going on, Kim Jr.? How's it going? Good morning. I feel like I just talked to you 12 hours ago, right? Probably even, yeah, about 12 hours ago. So Activision is one I'm super interested on today as well. I do have a position. Upwork, Zillow Group, Lyft. We got Match and Altrex, right? So it's going to be a pretty interesting day. Corsair just reported earnings, and I was just looking at their stock. They're up 5%. So I'm guessing earnings were pretty good for the company. That's pretty good. It's pretty good in my opinion for the content creation side, but also for the gaming side. So I haven't read Corsair's gaming earnings just yet. But it could be a sign that gaming is still pretty strong. So it might be good things for like Activisions, right? What's going on, Tony? How's it going? Good morning. Good morning. I feel like I saw you guys just a few hours ago. Yeah, stocks making the biggest move yesterday. I mean, a lot of people were scaring me that it was a crazy red day. Maybe thankfully I didn't have too many of those big stocks. I was down like 1.8, 1.9%. So it wasn't as scary as Fizz made me feel. I don't know if he's in here already. But yeah, so we see CVS just reported earnings. They are up about 3% in pre-market, right? Stop. If I had 3 positions for the next 10 years, what would it be? All right, so first, I would say Nvidia. Nvidia for sure would be one of those positions for the next 3 years. Let's see. So Nvidia would be one that I consider a nice growth, but also having strong fundamentals already. And the overall market that they're expanding to, I think is just dramatic. Now I want to put maybe something a little bit less volatile than Nvidia. It'll probably be maybe something like for 10 years, right? This is what you're asking for 10 years. It would change depending on the time frame. Maybe I would say either Google or Microsoft. Maybe more Google, just because the overall, I think YouTube platform is something that's gonna continue to grow, and they're just the amount of eyes that are gonna keep coming to YouTube, and Google Cloud eventually becoming profitable. So I think the second one would be Google. Then maybe something less safe. I wouldn't say less safe, a little more volatile. I probably would have to go with, it would have to either be between C Limited, OSTOP, or Unity. I think I might go with C Limited. So those were probably, that's a pretty cool question, right? So it's for the next 3 years, right? These are companies that I feel in the next 10 years can still be stronger. If you would have had 4, I think Unity would have been in that position as well. But yeah, those definitely would be my 3. Would probably be Google, Nvidia, and C. But I mean, I feel if you ask me tomorrow, I might think of something else. But those are the first 3 that came up to my mind. Yeah, Kim, I ended up looking at my portfolio. I actually looked at it today because I usually, Fidelity is pretty cool. That's the broker I have. Fidelity is pretty cool on giving me news. So I use it to check news on positions. Jan, will Facebook go to 1 trillion? Not sure if they will. I mean, I'm not sure, right? No definite answer. I think it could go, right? I'm currently a Facebook shareholder, and I do think I could see them going to a $1 trillion market cap. especially if that overall, if they're correct in the virtual reality. I mean, obviously their advertisement space, right? That is doing amazing. Them doing the whole e-commerce platform within their, like, really improving the overall e-commerce on their platform. Is going to drive more within advertisement itself. So that's also pretty interesting. But then just the other bets on the virtual reality. I do believe now is the time to really push into that technology, and that's what they're doing. So that can definitely help. I want to see in the next 2 years how that other revenue from Facebook is going to compare to where it's at now. It grew like 128%, I think, this most recent quarter. So that's definitely going to be an interesting thing to watch. What's going on, Mr. Bear? Monk, what's going on? Avgo B and most underrated chip stock. Did they report earnings today, Monk, or was it earlier this week? Let's take a look. Afco Broadcom. Broadcom designs, develops, manufacturing, global supplier of a wide range of semiconductor and infrastructure software products. The stock is right now sitting at $450. What's going on, White? Good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody has good vibes. Agree. Even if it's a red day, right? We still have good vibes. I'm not saying it's going to be a red day, but even if it's red, the good vibes continue. Stock basic. Hi, Jose. Why is this market sentiment so bearish? Inflation? To be honest, I wouldn't know. Inflation, right? Maybe that could be a reason. Then another one could be just last year, right? Last year we saw a huge what's going on, Fizz? Last year we saw huge returns in the overall market, and investors, you get worried once you go all the way to the top. The overall correction as well. Just a lot of everything, right? Stock basics. I don't think there's one major reason. I think there's just so much fear going on to the market from different sides, from different places, right? From different angles that are really, really pushing it. Yeah, so I mean, right, Mr. Bear, I feel like there's so many reasons, right? CPI data, which is pretty much inflation, right? Then you have everything, right? From still COVID stuff. I think there's just so many fears all around. Oh, Afco earnings June 3rd. Okay, that's a month from now, so that's still. I can't believe we're already in May, guys. That's insane. June 3rd. I'm like, that's so long from now. And Mr. Bear, agree. I take the whole bearish sentiment as just noise at the moment, and I think that's what's super amazing about being a long-term investor. Because being a long-term investor, you historically, right, doesn't mean it's always going to be, but historically, bearish, if you're a long-term investor, bearish sentiments tend to just be noise when looking in the long term of things. So I'm not worried at all about my portfolio. Even with this position drops, I'm still happy with the returns I got last year. I'm still overall happy with my positions. So it's just noise. And to me, times like now, I'm just doing what I continue to do. And when I do have money, continue to put money into the market. It's not going to scare me off from doing anything else, right? Because like I said, for this is positions I'm holding for 5 years or more. Oh, stop. Agree. Huya is... So Huya wouldn't... I don't know why Huya wouldn't make that list. I think the overall video game streaming platform is definitely good for at least the next 3 to 4 years. That whole move of Huya, right? Major things, because it is a Chinese stock, getting hammered. Another reason they might get... There was a recent news that their merger might be banned due to the government. Overall, I wasn't in Huya when I got into Huya. It wasn't for the merger. It was pre-merger. I'm still happy to hold. No intentions of selling. And maybe soon I might just continue to add a bit on it. What's going on, Marcus? Let me see. Let's see. We can. Monk, do you want to take a quick look at Afco? So we can take a quick look at Afco in a bit. And hopefully I am sharing screen, even though I'm not really looking at anything. So we can take a look at Vago. Jibiki, we can take a look at NVCR. And also, do you follow bank stocks? There's not much bank stocks I follow. Again, not for any negative reasons. There's just certain markets I don't follow. I just have no intentions, right? I try to focus in certain markets and trying to just strengthen my overall knowledge within those markets. And from time to time, I might venture off into another market and just learn a bit from there until I feel like I'm comfortable there. But at the moment, no banks. The closest to banks are probably my fintech companies like Square. I do own some Square. What else? I'm pretty sure I own some PayPal as well. So I think those are the closest things I have for banks. And I've kind of followed what else? SoFi and PaySafe, right? So I followed those two as well to some extent. But the traditional banking system, no. All right, so Monk, we'll definitely take a look at Afco. Favorite stock you own? Kevin, favorite stock I own right now, Nvidia. Nvidia is just the technology. First, CEO, amazing. The overall technology that they are doing in the GPU market, even though they have competitors in the GPU market, there's no one really taking market share from them. The overall expansion from future growth to data centers, artificial intelligence, machine learning, gaming, visualization, crazy what you can do with the GPU. The GPU is the future for our technology. Them entering the data center CPU market, I think is a huge play as well. They do have great technology from, you can just see the strength of their GPUs. Them entering the data center CPU, if they have the same type of engineers working or the same level of engineers, I think they will have a crazy product at hand. And finally, they just make a lot of different services. They do everything from Nvidia broadcast, Nvidia. I forget all the little things that they have to continue to innovate into different markets. So for me, Nvidia favorite stock to own, and that's why. Markets for me, if I ever get worried about like that, if I feel it might be a bit overvalued and I still want to get skin in the game, I just open up with smaller position sizes over time. I mean, there's always going to be a buying opportunity out there, right? So sometimes buying opportunities, the only thing is buying opportunities, you don't know if when you see that buying opportunity, is it still going to be cheaper than where the stock price is at right now. So I enjoy getting skin in the game, but I don't really put a full I want to say gas on the tank until I see a nice correction. And that's thankful. I mean, I'm here in the States, and we have free trading, right? So that's amazing, free transactions. And the broker I use, Fidelity, has fractional shares. So it allows me to invest just a few $100s if I want to on a stock. So I don't even have to worry too much. So I think those two, I think free trading, and I say it about all the time, free trading and fractional investing is the best thing for retail investors who have less than like a $500,000 account. Kim Jr., do you try to time your buy during the day? No, Kim, not at all. To me, I think, especially around the day, it's just noise. As a long-term investor, right? It's a few dollars, a few pennies, not even much percentage-wise. So I don't try to time it during the day. It's just whenever I remember. And guys, while you're in here, make sure to hit the thumbs up. It helps so much. It really does with the YouTube algorithm. And if there's one way to support the channel is by hitting that thumbs up. I want to make sure I'm hitting it too. So question, do you guys try to, what are some of your favorite stocks? I want to hear from you guys, Kevin, right? You asked me what was your favorite stock. I want to hear from the chat. What's your favorite stocks to own right now? I'm pretty sure, and pretty sure I'm going to get something from growth to something not as heavy growth, more of a dividend play. So definitely would like to hear from you guys. What are some of your favorite stocks? But let's take a quick look at Afco. If you guys don't want to share that information because you guys don't want to share the secret sauce. So Broadcom right now, right? Kim Jr., Nvidia as well. Nice. All right, we have Kim answering the first. Hi, Jose. Zillow is reporting tonight. Yes, Duck. I'm super. I want to take a look at Zillow for sure. I'm more of a Redfin guy right now, but definitely want to take a look. White Taxi, Mara. Is that one in the in the Herbalife, I forget where Mara is doing. Marcus, Tesla is a good. I can see, you know, how I feel about Nvidia. I feel it's like how much investors feel about Tesla. Rizviz, oh, food. I've never heard about them. You should mention them some more. Kevin, you like Louis V and Roblox. Roblox, I can definitely see the huge potential in Roblox for sure. On Janice, you have ChargePoint, and Foot Locker. Oh wow, those are two completely different spectrums, right? I feel like ChargePoint is more like that's the EV charging, right? That's more like a huge growth. And Foot Locker, I don't follow Foot Locker, but I feel like that's more of a conservative play, a value play. So that's kind of cool to see those two as your favorite. Mr. Bear, Sim, ASO, IPOE, AVO, and Arrival. Wow, that's good, crazy runs. I actually don't know most of them. I know APOE and Arrival. I don't think I know the other two, Mr. Bear. Those are pretty interesting. Yep, SMH. I know that one, the semiconductor ETF. Ostap, and you're really bullish on Upstart. That one seems pretty interesting as well. What else we have? And Judah, what about Gravity? Gravity has been taking a hit, right? I'm actually looking into it some more. And Judo, haven't really dig too deep into the recent drop. AS personally wouldn't do that. But I mean, if you have like a $2 million account and you put 50K on ASML, then that's a whole different story. It's always, I think that's what's so hard about always getting some form of like questions from other people. Everybody has a different financial story. Everybody has a different debt levels. Everybody has different income. Everybody has different cash flow. Kim, write this down, Kim, and share them all later. I'm gonna take a look at some of these stocks. Jivigi, Lumina, and SE. Twilio has been. Oh man, Twilio. Twilio has been great. That's the one I enjoy a lot. Unfortunately, I just recently got into Twilio. But the overall market that they're doing. Oh, why they do Marathon? Digital. That's Marathon. They do Bitcoin mining. It has been good for trading. Nice. So why are you mainly a trader? In Judo, AMD, I'm liking AMD. I haven't taken a look at Qualcomm. I am liking AMD as right now. I think even though I said Nvidia is my favorite company, AMD I feel is the one a bit undervalued compared to at least the Nvidia. But Qualcomm, they definitely took a huge hit after earnings, right, in Judo? That one seems interesting as well. Marcus, love Unity as well. Been adding more shares since the dip. Hope the dip will end soon. Marcus, true, right? But earnings are gonna come up, and I mean, just devil's advocate, right? There's a chance earnings even might do good. We've seen it. Fizz keeps mentioning, right? And he keeps putting it in my head. Even if earnings do well, if let's see, even if the overall stock earnings do well, the stocks can still tend to go down. But overall long term, I think Unity is a big player, and I'm super excited to own them. GPUs are selling out quicker than they can make them. I know, Doc. I'm trying to find something better for my computer. The GPU accelerations are awesome for video editing. When I finally export, and I really could use a better GPU. But everything is crazy expensive right now, and I'm not gonna pay insane prices for them. Well, Mr. High, I'm pretty sure the stream will go back up. The streams actually go public after. So when your Wi-Fi is working better. But yeah, the only thing I'm worried, right? We kind of saw it before, is like GPUs were selling out, and then what ends up happening is demand starts to decrease. Right, especially right now, if a huge portion is because of Bitcoin mining. Let's just say it is just for crypto mining, not Bitcoin. Let's say for crypto mining. Let's say we saw this in 2017. Nvidia's stock price jumped, AMD stock price jumped like crazy because they were selling crazy amount of GPUs due to the huge demand, mainly because of crypto mining. I don't know if that's the same situation we're in right now. Obviously, every time there's a new situation, the answer is like, no, this time is different. But most of the times, it's not different. So the only thing I am worried, again, as a long-term investor, not really worried, but the only thing I want to say in the back of my mind is, hey, if this is again like that whole crypto thing we saw in 2017, where then they start seeing a huge decrease in sales, it can affect the stock price. The only thing is now, right, most of these companies have revenue segments from all over the place, right? From other aspects outside of just GPUs for that type of market. Yeah, exactly, Fizz. So that's another. But what if? Fizz? The only thing I do want to say, right, Fizz, is now AMD and Nvidia, now they have, right, they make revenue, much more revenue from other markets, right? Like Nvidia now makes more, I think 2 quarters ago was the first quarter they made a nice amount from data center. So even though it will impact, I don't think the impact will be as strong as last time just because of the revenue diversification. And guys, while you're here, make sure to hit the thumbs up. And if you guys want me to take a look at a stock, feel free to post it on the comments. I still have to take a look at Afco for you guys and the market. Oh wait, I thought I said 9:32. We still got 8 minutes for the market. So let's just all imagine a green day and it'll work into existence, right? If we all imagine, it's. So what I mean, one thing is I don't like the concept of averaging down on other stocks that are down, right? That's not the thing. I average down on stocks that I average on stocks that I believe will continue to do well. So if the whole purpose of you just averaging down is of buying these other companies is because they're down in stock price, that's not a reason I would go into. But if I average down because I believe in the overall stock business, then yes, that's how I would do it, right? You just sold Amazon here. In earlier, about 2 months ago when we were seeing this whole growth correction, right? I sold a lot of my slow growers. I sold some Activision. I sold some, I forget what else I sold. I sold Berkshire, for example, and I bought some of these heavy beaten down stocks, but not because they were heavy beaten down. It is because they were heavy beaten down, but it's because I was still bullish on the overall market. So like I sold some Berkshire to buy Unity, to buy Nvidia, to buy C, to buy Sorens. So it's more, that's a concept I do, right? I sold a few positions to increase my overall main positions. But if it's just to buy a stock because it's down, then definitely not. And Kim, are you streaming tonight? No, Kim, I'm not gonna be streaming tonight. Tonight's my brother's birthday. So I'm heading to my parents' house. We're gonna have a nice dinner. It's also May 4th. So it is Star Wars Day, and this is pretty much a holiday for me. I don't even know why I'm streaming. This is a holiday for me. So there is a new Star Wars show that just came out today, so that's what I'm gonna be doing tonight. So Monk, do you short or trade options at all? So options, no shorting. I definitely don't do shorting. Option tradings from time to time, but when I do options, I don't do naked options. I just do form of legs. So my favorite one is the bull credit spread. So that's the only one I normally do. Maybe I might do the bull debit spread, but those are the only two main methods I do if I ever trade options. And options, if I ever do trade, Monk, my trading account is about, I have them in different accounts, right, Monk? I have my investing account and I have my trading account. My investing account is, let's say, 99% of my overall investing value. My trading account is about 1%, if that. But yeah, I like, if I do trade, I like to keep them in different accounts. Thoughts, Dips. What's going on, Dips? Thoughts on Micron technology? And guys, I'm super happy. I feel like I'm getting a lot of Kim Jr. And that's okay, right? You don't know anything about options. I don't think it's something investors need to know, right? They don't need to know. If you want to explore that type of market, then sure, it's cool. But I don't think it's a need when investing at all, Kim. So it's if you're interested in it, definitely go. There's a lot of free content out there, but it's not something I feel you need to know. I want to say I spent like a whole year really learning about options. I picked up so many books. I watched so many videos. I did so many different trends. So I tried it, right? I tried it for a nice amount of time. At the end of the day, I ended up not going any further with it. But it's good to just grab that knowledge for me. I just enjoy having that type of knowledge. All right, but like I said, right now, I'm pretty much just a long-term investor and just with regular shares, nothing else. Kevin, it's probably a good thing. Yep, agree. I think most of my money I've ever lost was through options, if I could be honest. Actually, yes, it is. 100% it is. It was the most expensive learning lesson I've ever had. But not for that reason am I not using it, right? Just I understood that I understood my risk behind it. But it's just, yeah. Easy. Yep, Monk, agree. Very easy to blow up your account. I mean, overall, just learning how investing works is good, but it doesn't mean you have to do everything, right? And guys, while you're here, like I said, make sure to hit that thumbs up. I'm sure I'm a broken record, but let's see. I want to see. So let's take a quick look at Broadcom. So Afco, right? $450. This is a semiconductor. If you guys want me to take a quick look at any stock, feel free to post. So from its all-time high, the stock is down about 8%. First thing I can see, they are profitable. We're going to take a quick look, but they are profitable and they pay a dividend yield. So by looking at this already, I know Broadcom is not going to be a crazy growth company. So let's take a look at future growth. Market cap of 183 billion, pretty big. Expected revenue growth is 4.4%, right? So this is something I would consider a slow growth. But remember, they're paying a hefty, 3% dividend yield right now. So some investors, right? Some investors don't like the huge growth revenue. They prefer something a slow revenue grower and paying some form of dividends. This is what you're getting with Afco, with Broadcom. They are positive in earnings. Look at this. They're super positive in cash flow from operations. So fundamentally, we can see not a growth stock, but fundamentally still looks pretty good. If we take a look at their financial health, this is a company that is a bit leveraged, right? They have about $10 billion in cash and they have about $40 billion in debt. This is why I say it's very important to understand like what stage a business is in to understand this. For example, if this was a growth stock that was barely making money, that was barely profitable, that was barely cash flow from operations, I would hate this balance sheet. But remember, this is a company that pays dividend, that is super profitable, that is positive in cash flow from operations. So it's okay to be leveraged, right? They're 1-to-4 leverage, right? They have 1 cash compared to 4 for every 4 debt they have. I mean, just think about it in your everyday life, right? I'm pretty sure if you have a mortgage, you have more than enough time. Right, your mortgage is probably like 200, 300K, and you have a salary of like 60, 70K. So I always like to take a look at balance sheet in form of a personal finance stance. So Afco, I think is pretty interesting, right? Not a company I personally would invest. I'm not too into the whole dividend play, into the slow grower, but it doesn't mean it's a bad investment, just not one for me. Connor, Corsair just reported earnings. Yeah, I want to take a look at Corsair. So let's do Corsair after Baidu. We have the market open in 1 minute. I just want to see how my overall account opens up. Let's go to charts real quick. So Mike, yeah, I mean, this is right. Let's say I was heavy in growth. Let's say I was too heavy in a growth portfolio and I wanted to get maybe some exposure into more of a value play, into something less volatile. Broadcom could definitely make that list, right? All right, market opened up. Let's see, any Upwork is down 4% already. Fiverr is also down about 4%. We have Jumia down 3%. Okta is down 3%. It seems to be a scary day, boys and girls. Right, we have T-Doc down 3%. We have Twilio down 3%. We have Roku down 2%. Yeah, let me just see what's green. Let me that list might be shorter. We got Tattoo Chef up 2%. We got Huya up 0.3%. And that's it for me. Wait, Tencent is up 0.5%. All right, so that was a quick list. But let's see. I mean, yeah, overall, Fiverr is definitely taking the beating. This is what I do like to see, right? I enjoy Fiverr, right? I really do. I'm happy when they get closer to these averages. So it doesn't mean it's not gonna break out, right? So we can see Fiverr's moving into that 200 moving average. I even take a look at the 300 day. But now it doesn't seem overextended. When I see things like this, for me, what I see is it has eliminated a good portion of the risk. If I ever want to get into a company like Fiverr, these are the moments I get in heavy, right? These are the moments I don't mind continuing to add, especially if there has been no change to the overall business. If there has been changes to the overall business, then that's a whole different story. But when moments like this, you can see, right, the stocks at this level are super overextended from the moving averages. These are the moments that it's not going to stop me from entering a business or entering an investment. It's just going to tell me, Jose, there's a higher chance that there could be a pull down. So I tend to just enter with a smaller position. I keep sounding like a broken record, and Unity does seem like it is very attractive right now. And this is, I want to say, this is probably a great time to add on to Unity if I didn't have it. So right, we can see, right, I've been purchasing Unity for time to time. I've been adding up throughout this whole way, but I saw that it was overextended. So what did I do? During every time I added on these overextensions, I only added smaller positions. When this happened, I want to say when Unity was over here, it was probably like less than 1% of my portfolio. Now the Unity is over here. It's now 7% of my portfolio. So that overall shows. And that's that I was buying here. I was buying over the tick, but overall, I wasn't making big buys. Here is when I made my big buys right now. And if I didn't have a big buy, I definitely would be at these levels. We can see, right, I'm not much of a technical guy, but these are showing me some great support levels, a lot of volume here. When do we have earnings for them? May 11th, so 7 days from now, next Tuesday. That one's going to be interesting. Nice, Intruder. That's a great average in my opinion. Definitely a great average. Rizviz, you have 43 shares. Nice. I don't know how many you have. I have about, I think it's like 8 divided by, let's say 100. I have roughly, I don't know if that's my average share, but that's about, so I have about 80 shares right now of Unity. Assuming an average price of 100, I'm pretty sure my average price is lower than that. But yeah, this one does look super attractive. Let's see. All right, now that the market has opened, things are maybe a little less aggressive. TWO, right? Twilio, not TWO, Twilio. Looks nice. Kim Jr., what do you think, Jose? Wait for earnings. I personally, if I want, let's say Kim Jr., if I didn't have Unity right now, how I would play it, and I was worried about the volatility from earnings. Small position, some position now, some position after earnings. I mean, because at the end of the day, it's pretty much a crystal ball. I don't know how earnings, I don't know how the stock price is going to overreact. I don't know if there's going to be any new deals that they might announce, any crazy change to the business. So there's just so much unknowns. So if right now I feel like it's giving me a buying opportunity, I wouldn't mind going into with, let's say, maybe half a position right now from what I would originally have done. And then after earnings, decide if I want to do the other half. At least I get some skin in the game. Because overall, I don't think one earnings will make or break a company. And I am bullish in the overall company for the long term of things. So that's how I would play it. So KV, Corsair Earnings. Yep. Did I take a look at the other stock? Baidu. So let me take a look at Sander's. Sander's Baidu first. I think we looked at this one yesterday, right? So Baidu, it's definitely seen a crazy pull down. Today it's actually green though. But from its all-time highs, the stock is down about 40%. First thing, Chinese stock, right? So overall, just big companies, the big giants are taking a big of a hit in the Chinese. So in Chinese government, kind of like stopping some stuff, and investors just get worried. So to me, I don't mind investing in Chinese stocks. I have a few. The first thing is eliminate my overall risk or eliminate some of the risk by limiting myself to, not eliminate, more like limited my risk by limiting the amount of exposure I have in Chinese stocks. And I think right now it's less than 15% of my portfolio is in Chinese stocks. I think it's probably even less than 10. But I still enjoy those companies, right? Like Huya, like Tencent. I think those are the only two, and JD, right? So I limit my exposure to make sure I don't have huge risk. But that's the first thing, right? Overall, down 40% from all-time highs. We can see from quick fundamentals of Baidu. Let's see. Future growth. Right, cash flow from they are positive in earnings. They are making strong cash flow from operations. They're growing at some great levels of 12.6%. If we take a look at their health, their balance sheet, I remember it was pretty strong, right? They had a nice amount of cash. Yeah, they have strong cash compared to debt. So fundamentally, who was it that asked? Sander, Baidu seems good fundamentally. The overall market, I'm not too familiar, but maybe I should pull up Y charts as well, and maybe I should do this. You guys can probably get a nice kick out of this. So Baidu, maybe EV. I don't know, since maybe it is EV to EBITDA. And maybe let's do. So first thing, right? I'm seeing about Baidu is they're not that. I mean, right now they're similar levels as they were in January of 2021. We can see they definitely took a huge jump compared to where they were even a year ago. So seeing something like this, maybe I might not buy too much if I wanted to buy right now on the company. But if I wanted to get exposure, always get some skin in the game, is what I like to say. So let's take a quick look at Corsair. Maybe let's do price to sales ratio. Yep. All right, so let's take a look at Corsair earnings. I might do a video on them. So Corsair, oh man, they were actually up after. This is what's happening, right? Just crazy sell-offs. Corsair, they were up about 2%. They were up about 2% on pre-market, right? I think it was like 2 or 3%. Actually 5%. They were at $35 when I saw them at pre-market when I first started the stream. Now they're down 1%. This is what's happening in the overall market. Earnings do well. And this is what Fizz keeps mentioning, right? Even let's say you want to get into Unity. This is some type of the risk, right? Their earnings might do well, but then the stock still takes a beating. Even though pre-market, you're like, yep, up 5%. Next thing you know, you're down 2.6%. That's insane. So right now, it seems to be taking a beating. Let's take a look at their earnings report. So Corsair's investors relations. Rarity looks like it's going below 100. I think it did yesterday, right? Judah, is going to happen again. So Corsair, let's take a look at their first quarter reports. Net revenue, 71% increase year-over-year growth. Hey Alex, how's it going? So crazy year-over-year growth. The only thing, right, when we're seeing these crazy year-over-year growth, the first thing I want to say is we got to understand where this business was last year. So I think last year during these first quarter is when the overall COVID really started impacting life. And I don't think at this point, let's actually take a look. I don't want to make any assumptions. Let me just log in real quick. Hopefully you guys can't see my screen while I'm logging in. Maybe you guys can. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you guys couldn't. So let's take a quick look at Corsair. Let's be lazy. So I just want to see how Corsair's revenue did last year during this whole COVID situation. So quarterly revenue. All right, so is that when they went public? There's like no information for them between 2019 and 2020. Did they go public? When did they go public? So I'm guessing they didn't go public during that time, so there's no information there. But let's just take this into account. So on their September, ending of September deadline, they made about $457 million in revenue. During that time, right, people were actually buying stuff for games. Are they making more revenue now than they were then? I want to say September was good. And then 2020, they made 556. What did they make? They made $529 million of revenue. Public in September. Thank you, KV. What I want to say, look, so we all know this is a gaming stock. So what happens with gaming stocks? What happens to companies like these? During the holiday seasons, which is this quarter right here, which they made last quarter, they made $556 million. This, in theory, should be their highest performing quarter. This quarter, quarter one, is normally their slowest quarter, especially right now with kind of things opening back up. They still made $529 million in revenue, almost as high as their holiday quarter. So that to me is super, super bullish, in my opinion, when I see that. So their overall net revenue growth was pretty impressive. Gross profit, they are profitable there, obviously. Operating income, let's see. Adjusted, no, I want to see net income. Net income was 46 million compared to 1.2 million same time last year. So they are getting stronger there. Adjusted EBITDA increased 196%. And cash flow from operations, they're now a nice cash making machine of $27.8 million compared to $2 million a year ago. I want to see what guidance did they give. So full guidance, they are updating guidance. I'm guessing because they had such a strong year. So they're raising their net. Maybe funds are usually high volume on earnings to get rid of big blocks of shares. I think I read. That might be okay. Funds. This could be a possibility, right? So for full guidance, raising net revenue to be in range of 1.9 to 2.1 billion dollars. And that's an increase of about 100 million. A nice increase. What's the overall market cap of Corsair? So about market cap of $3.03 billion. So they're expecting their price to sales ratio to be about 1.5 or so. Not bad. They are profitable, and adjusted EBITDA are also looking pretty good. Corsair. On April, they announced Corsair One Gaming, blah, blah, blah. This is one thing I like, right? Corsair, I think this is one of my favorite things. Maybe it's just because I am a streamer, is their Elgato brand. Their Elgato brand just continues to do great products for streaming people. And I just keep seeing people purchasing them nonstop. Oh, they actually released a new Camlink Pro. I'm gonna have to check that out. I have one of the Camlinks, and it's how I connect my camera into my computer. But overall, I think earnings were pretty cool. They improved their guidance, which is even better, and they are profitable. So Corsair, I don't have it in my portfolio, but it's not looking bad. Definitely not looking bad. Right? This is more of a company that's in the gaming side. It's also into content creation, right? Because right, it's if you believe there's going to be more streamers, and I do think, right, I think now we're still in early stages that every kid, or even us, me, an adult, wants to be a YouTuber, wants to be a gamer, wants to be some form of content creation. It doesn't have to be in gaming content creation. It doesn't have to be in just stocks, right? The amount of content creation happening out there. So I think Mr. Monk, I think valuations, the crazy thing, Mr. Monk, about valuations is it all depends on what stage the business is in. if you're looking, and that's, I think it's super hard for a company, for someone to value a company. There's a lot of metrics, right? There's PE ratios, there's price to sales ratios, there's EV to EBITDA ratios, all these ratios out there. I think I personally, and the crazy thing about valuation is it counts on how the business is doing right now. We don't know what the company is, how the company is going to continue to innovate in the future. We don't know what kind of technology that business is going to make. So valuation doesn't really take too much of a look at the future. And if it does, there's so many variables in the future that can make that valuation be worthless. I feel like some people really spend too much time on valuation, and maybe that's your thing, right? That's how you enjoy doing it. I personally have seen better returns doing the method I enjoy. And this is looking at if the business is doing well, if I enjoy how the revenue growth is going, if I enjoy the markets that they're hitting. A simple thing that I do is this right here. If a company I want to buy is super overextended from its moving averages, I tend to buy a smaller position. Once they get closer to their moving averages, that's when I buy a little bit more. So dollar cost averaging is the best thing in my opinion to do over time. But then I do dollar cost averaging, and my position adding depends on how much risk I believe. And I think this is just something I've developed over time. And I think everybody, Monk, has a different valuation method. Maybe someone wants to look at forward price to sales ratio. But when looking at forward price to sales ratio, it's good to compare it to some peers. It's good to compare it to how it was a year ago. It's good to compare. Everything changes, right? You have to really understand the overall business of how they're growing their earnings, how they're growing their price of sales, how they're growing their margins, how they're growing in different markets, how they're expanding. So there's so much unknown that really digging into evaluation can just dig too much of a hole for you. So to me, dollar cost averaging on great businesses is the method I prefer to do. Might not be the best method. Maybe some of you guys don't like that method. But again, every investor has a different style, Monk, and that's how I do it. And sorry for that long rant, but I do, and like I said, I don't believe there's a wrong way. There's no wrong way in this investing style. It's the way that works for you. Every investor has a different emotion tolerance. Every investor has a different financial life. Every investor has a different goal. Mr. Bear, very true. Looking rough out there today. If you're not adding today, it might not be a good idea to not look at your portfolio. For example, like had Corsair's good fundamentals. Oh, let's take a quick look. Yeah, we didn't look at that. So this is going to be based on their last earnings. I don't want to take a look. If I was to do on their current earnings, it might take a longer time. So dips, Pete, what I tend to do is first I look at the 3-day candles. So those are my number. That's my favorite time frame, the 3-day candle, because it eliminates a lot of the noise. So I take a look at the 3-day, and within the 3-day, I usually have I have the, let's see, I forget. I'm pretty sure it's the 20, the 50, and the 60. Yeah, the 20, the 50, and the 6, and the 200. Sorry, the 20, the 50, and the 200. When I use the 3-day moving average, I'm more looking at just the 50 at the 50-day, the yellow. So that's usually my huge buying opportunity here. Overextension from the 20 really eliminates how much I would go in. And again, dips, I think it's different for everybody. Some people might like the day average and kind of use the 200. I just personally enjoy using the 3-day. So 3-day moving, overextended from the 20-day within the 3-day time frame, eliminate smaller position, closer to the 50-day within the 3-day time frame, bigger position. That's how I do it. And again, I'm not trading stocks, right? So that's the different thing. I'm not. What's going on, Ed? What's your favorite cereal? Oh man, I don't know. Cinnamon Toast Crunch probably. Nah, I don't know. Depends on the type of day. Cinnamon toast, French toast sometimes, French Toast Crunch as well. Sometimes some Lucky Charms. Maybe today I should have some Lucky Charms. If I have some Lucky Charms today, we might have a green day. Sometimes some Special K fruit and yogurt. Special K fruit and yogurt is actually pretty good. I really like that one a lot. Hey, sometimes some Fruity Pebbles, some Cocoa Pebbles, some just all types of cereal. I have no complaints as long as you have sugar in it. Something sweet. I remember when I was little, my mom, she wouldn't, oh, Dips, we can take a look at it. But I was going to say, my mom, she wouldn't buy Frosted Flakes. She would just buy, I forget what it was. Just, it was the one with the rooster in it. Kellogg's, what's it, Kellogg's? Rooster, I don't even know what it was called. This one, cornflakes, just typical cornflakes. I hated this when my mom would buy this, but sometimes she couldn't get this. She would, instead of cornflakes, I would just get this and I would just throw sugar on the on the damn cereal itself. I would make my own damn Frosted Flakes. But yeah, all right. So let's take a look at Micron for you, Dips P, for sure. So yeah, overall, Micron, right? I enjoy my MU, right? Memory is needed for everything. If I'm bullish in Nvidia, it means I'm bullish in Micron. If I'm bullish in the overall semiconductor, it means I'm bullish in Micron. Just, you need memory, right? Memories in everything from TVs, phones, from your data sensors, your cars. Now Micron is needed. So overall, this is a market I can see huge growth in. The only thing I don't like about Micron, very similar to what we're seeing with Nvidia, or what we're kind of seeing, memory is a very, very cyclical thing. Every 4 or 5 years, we see a huge demand for memory, a huge demand, and it drives the stock price up like crazy. I think that's what happened here on March 18th. Around this, we were seeing a huge demand for memory. What ends up happening is all these companies end up, oh man, we actually purchased more than we needed, so we're gonna slow down on purchasing items for the next few quarters. What ends up happening is Micron takes a beating, and it has been a cycle I've seen over time. I think this is the same cycle we're seeing now. The only thing is, I don't know where we are in that cycle, right? It's definitely seen a crazy pull up. Data centers, a lot of these memories are needed for data centers. Everybody's saying that data centers are continuing to grow, right? So the memory is still going to be needed out there for clouding, for everything. But I feel like there's going to be a point where they're going to come again and be like, hey, we kind of over ordered on memory. We're going to slow it down, and then the stock price can dip. So I think that's what makes semiconductors such huge cyclical stocks. At the end of the day, I still enjoy Micron, right? They have great fundamentals, right? Future growth. They have future growth of 13.2% on average, so it's a nice growth stock. They are profitable. They are positive in cash flow from operations. Here so you can see that cyclicalness happening from 2018 to 2020. I'm pretty sure if we take a look here, Micron, let's do Micron real quick. MU. So you guys can actually see the cyclicalness of Micron. So not red flags, sorry, give me 1 second. Actually, I think we could see it in red flags. Come on, yo. Lazy FA, man. I'm giving you promotion here. Not actually promoting, but see, I mean, you can see it over. This is over since 1996. This is since 1996. Like, huge increase of revenue, especially here during the 2000 bubble. Huge boom, and then drops like crazy, right? Then revenue again continues to increase. Boom. Revenue continues to increase. Boom. Revenue continues to increase in 2014. Boom. Then it happened again in 2018. Boom. So now, I mean, if we take a look at trailing 12 months, I think it's going back in that uptrend now, right? So we're taking a look at trailing 12 months. It seems like that cyclical thing is over, right? The bottom ended out. Now we're going back up. The real question is, in theory, it always seems like the new top is a lot higher. So we're nowhere near the new top right now. So it can show that, hey, Micron still has plenty of room to grow. But this is just the one thing I want to say, to be worried about Micron's revenue and their overall market. But like I said, fundamentally, they're super good. Strong future growth, strong positive in earnings, cash flow from operations. Do they pay a dividend? Okay, I guess no, they don't. And fundamentally, right, balance sheet, they have strong cash. $47.2 billion in cash and $6.1 billion in debt. So they are in a great place fundamentally. So yeah, dips. And if you want to take a quick look at charts, let's just do a quick look at charts, right? I mean, it's not overextended anymore. So if I was to enter a position, it would be like an okay position, not a small size. If it ever goes here, that's when it will be a nice buying opportunity. But again, just because it's not here doesn't mean I won't buy, because I don't know if it's never gonna hit here again, because there's two things that could happen. This eventually can meet up here, or this can meet up here. So there's always risk and rewards to everything. So guys, like always, if you're here, make sure to hit the thumbs up. Ed, I mean, Ed, I thank you for the support, man. But like, now you got me hungry. Now I'm like, is it 10? It's almost 10 o'clock actually. 4 minutes from now. Duck, MU's revenue chart looks like crypto. The only thing though is it's been like that since way before crypto, right? When was the first crypto coin announced, right? it's because right, this is as far as 1996. Damn. So guys, yeah, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Let's see, coin at 275, Mr. Bears. Anyone buying? SPCB, Fictitious Fables of Europa. What is SPCB? I feel like I've heard of them, but I don't follow. Oh, Anson, do you think Nasdaq will keep dropping in the coming months? Anson, I don't know. I mean, like I said, for long-term investors, even a bearish cycle is still noise at the end of the term, especially if you dollar cost average. It's a different story if you just buy at certain points. But as a dollar cost averaging long-term investor, I think bearish scenarios are just noise, right? Because you get to pick up at the bottom as well. So I don't know. I mean, Nasdaq is. I honestly don't have that answer. I'm hoping it doesn't. There is a possibility that we'll keep dropping. And that's why, like, I'm honestly prepared for that. First time I heard of crypto was in 2013. Man, that's pretty impressive that you remember that. Did you like write it down on your diary? Fruit Loops isn't bad either, Dips, for sure. What does everybody eat for cereal? That's what I want to know. That's the real question. What is everyone's favorite cereal? Kevin, Open. I've actually done, Kevin, I have done a few videos on Open, I think. Let's go to Jose Najarro Open stock. Just Google it. Hey, no, that puts stock market opens. Okay, that's not what I want. Let's see, stock market, Jose. Boom, boom, boom. Open. Yeah, so I did 3 months ago. I did an episode on Open. Kevin, and I want to say I don't think my business has changed. I think I actually did them right here. Yeah, a week ago I actually did Open Door as well. Kevin, so I don't think I have time, and the reason I'm sending you to these videos is because when I look at businesses, I'm looking at the long term of things. So even a week old video, I haven't changed my opinion. Even this one that was 3 months ago, I'm pretty sure I haven't changed my opinion at all either. So that's pretty definitely, Kevin. I'm not able to see it today, but those two videos, just go to my page, just put Open, and you'll see them. Jesus' favorite breakfast is seeing how my stocks are not doing. Yeah, that's my favorite breakfast is yeah. Doug likes crunchy nut. Oh wow. Yeah, Kevin. So those two videos are ones. I want to say this one's probably the better one. It was a week ago, so it's better updated. But this one I think it's a longer video. It's a 23-minute. Back then I used to do longer videos. And yeah. So guys, I do have a questions while you guys are here. So I have these. I've been playing around with some new thumbnails. And if you guys are not on the Discord channel, let me just share the Discord channel as well. For those not here on the Discord itself, let's see. If you guys are not on the Discord, make sure to join. It's free. I post every time I buy. I post every time I sell, so you guys can see all my mistakes. But here on, I actually tried two new ideas for the channel. So yesterday I did an episode on Tattoo Chef. This was yesterday's thumbnail. So this is it. I actually tried something else. I don't know. Do you guys prefer the one where I have the room as the background and with my new lights, or the original style where it's just a solid background and just a picture right there? So I definitely see which one do you guys think is a better thumbnail to get better click rate, right? Gotta grow here on YouTube, you know, overall goal. So these are the two. This is number one. This is number two. Number one or number two? All right, number one seems to be getting number one, Judo. Thank you. Yeah, I like the change. And Judo and Alex both like the chain. Ed likes number one. Amanda likes number one. All right, so I'm gonna go. Not gonna lie, I've gotten some inspiration from others. It seems to be working, so why not try my own style, right? But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go have some cereal. Maybe I might have some Lucky Charms. If I do have some Lucky Charms, the market will turn green. So I'll see how things, what I decide to do. But anyways, guys, I'll see you tomorrow morning. I will be doing a video tonight on skills for sure. And there's a new video gonna come out around 12 o'clock Eastern time. So expect 2 videos from me today. I'll be streaming tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock and tomorrow evening. I would have been streaming tonight, but it's my brother's birthday. So I gotta go say happy birthday and stuff to him. So everybody take care and have a good day.